If you're a serious hunter and you haven't tried Hex yet, this is the edge you're missing. Hunters have always talked about animals having a sixth sense, feeling you before they ever see you. Hex works by completely blocking your body's natural energy, helping you get closer without tipping them off. Most hunters don't believe it at first, until they hunt in it. And once they do, oh, it makes them believers fast. Go to hexhunting.com. That's HECS hunting.com. And use code WAYPOINT to save $20 on a full Hex system.
Now it's after Thanksgiving, so you get $2. Text my buddy, and I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm eating Thanksgiving dinner, and I can't let my wife see that you're texting me. I'm like, I got to buck down. I need you to get over here. So I blow up their Thanksgiving, and I still think she hates me ever since that day. But I just completely trashed their Thanksgiving. We're hunting.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to the Hunting Stories Podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and we have another great episode for you today. Today, we're actually connecting with Jason Schlafer. Jason saved my ass, frankly, guys, so thank him. Everyone, give him a follow on YouTube or whatever, because I had a guest, and I just got a new job. And with my new job, I've not been very good at filling my hopper, making sure I have multiple episodes so this situation doesn't happen. But my guest that I had scheduled got sick. It's totally fine, understandable, happens to the best of us. But I went looking for a guest with about 30 minutes notice, and I'd never met Jason before, and here he was saying, I have some great stories to tell. I'd love to come on. So I want to say thank you, Jason, so much for saving this week's episode of the Hunting Stories Podcast. Couldn't have done it without you, obviously. Really, it was a pleasure to meet you. And for the listeners, guys, I get a lot of feedback saying more whitetail stories, and sometimes that's good or easy, sometimes that's not so easy. Jason delivers. He has some amazing stories from Missouri to Wisconsin, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I don't want to steal any of his thunder, and I've talked enough, so let's go ahead and kick this thing off and let Jason tell you some of his stories. Thank you. All right, Jason, welcome to the Hunting Stories Podcast, brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Dude, I've said it already. You are my savior tonight, so thank you so much. This episode is going to come out tomorrow, and the gentleman that I had planned for it, he's sick. He couldn't make it. So I went scrounging for anything anyone could give me. And you were like, I got you. And I have, and you said it just a second ago, the 7 craziest years of bow hunting ever. So you got my interest piqued, Jason.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's for me, right? So I'm sure people will hear this. So hopefully they don't, but yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
Dude, either way, I'm happy you're here. I'm excited to hear your stories. And let's do this. Let's take a small step back. Why don't you introduce yourself so that the people that are listening know who you are?
Yeah. So Jason Schlafer. Listen, I'm a middle-aged hunter out of western Wisconsin. I was born and raised in Duluth, Minnesota. For anybody who knows or is familiar, I think they're supposed to get 16 to 18 inches of snow tomorrow, so my mom is not happy. And
we can't get snow if we wanted it here in Colorado. It snowed like once. We're at like 20% snowpack or something. It's crazy.
Well, we're not even that down where I am. I'm just east of the Twin Cities in the Wisconsin side. But yeah, it's we're a Midwest family. My wife is from Michigan, about an hour south of the Big Mac, on the lower side. So we're a Midwest family, man. Upper Midwest, I guess.
Yeah. That's awesome. How long have you been hunting? I'm just going to assume your whole life, but you tell me.
Yeah, I think I'm probably like a lot of the listeners. We have the cabin in northern Minnesota that borders thousands of acres of county land, and I was brought there as like a 12, 13-year-old, right? Okay. The man who raised me, who I consider my father, bought us all rifles and dumped us into the woods, and that was it. That was it, right? It was good luck, and here's where you're gonna go sit. So I was, I think, brought up the way probably most traditional hunters, at least in my age bracket, are.
Yeah, especially in the Midwest area. Yeah,
absolutely. Deer camp, blaze orange, and I didn't realize it at the time, but a whole bunch of beer cans.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's like, I don't know, it's very like Americana, right? Like when people think of hunters, they kind of, people that don't hunt, I think that's the scenario that they put in their brain. Like those guys up at a camp, snowy, cold, drinking beers, Wisconsin, Northern, whatever it may be. But I think that is like the Americana vision of just like traditional hunting. So that's pretty cool that like, that's you, through and through.
Yeah, it's all those paintings that you see on walls where the guy's like in the outhouse and the big buck is sitting there and the gun's leaned against the tree. Yeah, that's how I was raised hunting. So,
perfect.
I was probably in the middle of that scene. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool, man. Well, I'm excited to have you here. It's super nice to meet you. And let's dive into it, man. Let's just go into some stories.
Yeah. Listen, I think it's probably important to give you a little more backstory. So,
perfect.
Again, born and raised northern Minnesota, and hunted from 12, 13. Forgive me for not knowing the exact age, but as soon as we were legally allowed in the woods with a rifle, we were allowed in. And then, so I did that until 18 years old. And then about 16, 17, my dad bought me my first bow, and it was a Hoyt Supreme. And just for the record, I've spent 30 years looking for an old single solid limb Hoyt Supreme, and found one up the road just last year and had new strings on it. So I finally got the nostalgia piece of my first ever bow back, and now it's hanging in the garage. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, we were shooting big, like 21-16 popple sticks out of it with thunderhead broadheads. And I'll never forget, about maybe 300, 400 yards from the cabin on a hill, I ended up getting lucky and I shot a doe. And I remember him telling me on the way to the doe, he goes, "Don't ever take a quartering two shot." And I took a quartering two shot tucked in her front shoulder. It was a perfect shot, not planned. And I remember him looking at me and going, "I can't believe you just did that." And from that moment, I put the gun down and was hooked. Yeah. And I never, ever gun hunted again. And wow. So, never touched a gun again. Love guns, not anti-gun, nothing. I just never... Yeah. There was something about... I got the itch and the extended season and not freezing my rear end off, up by Lake Superior. Yep. I'm like, this is it. Yeah. So anyway, I get done with high school. I went to college, played college basketball, and then I ended up out in the NBA Southern California Summer Pro League for 2 years.
Oh, cool.
And there was this big mix of like, okay, I met a girl, decided I wasn't good enough to do that. Right? a lot of rejection letters and conversations. Was still fortunate enough to get that opportunity. Yeah. And then we had our first daughter. And so she was our first of three, and I didn't touch a bow other than in my basement for let me give you a time frame. 18 12 years.
Oh wow. Did you not hunt at all for those 12 years?
Did not hunt at all for 12 years. And I'm sure a lot of people who listen to your podcast can empathize with it, but I had to become a working man. Yeah. I had to put food on the table and pay rent, didn't own a house, and it was just a grind. And so I set it all down.
Were you still in California for that? Or at this point you'd moved back home?
Yeah, we had moved back home. We were we bounced around between Minnesota, Wisconsin. Appleton, Green Bay is where I met my wife. Okay. Yes, I became a Packers fan. I ditched the Minnesota Vikings. I was tired of it. And it was it was survival, right? So that was it. I quit hunting, not with the intent of quitting, just the only thing that mattered to me was a paycheck and trying to not fail.
Right, thrive. You and your family. Like that's what's important.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. So it's important part of the story, and I think it probably is going to bring a level of holy crap to the end of this, because so fast forward, I take a relocation. I'd relocated for my job. This was the 5th time, and they said, do you want to go to Kansas City? And I said, let's do it. It was a director role. I mean, life changing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had.
Don't tell me you're a
Kansas
Chiefs
City.
fan. I'll hang up right now.
I'm not.
Okay.
I give my buddy more crap. I'm like, for a team that didn't have it for so long, you sure are arrogant, and we go at each other during deer camp. So it's fun.
I'm a lifelong Broncos fan, so I like my household. We're like, we don't say the word hate in our house. We just don't do it unless we're talking about the Chiefs or the Raiders, and then sling that word all you want.
Right. All the respect to their QB. I won't say his name, but I get asked the question probably monthly. You think he's the GOAT yet? You think he's the GOAT? And I'm like, you can't say any of that until the career's not done. So you got to just take a breath, enjoy the ride, bud.
Yep.
So anyway, I end up in Kansas City, and
Hey hunters, have you ever had one of those stories, the ones that you didn't want to tell, the ones that end in failure? Yeah, I've been there. Actually, you know what? The culprit for me usually is bad optics, or worse, lack of using my optics at all. Picture this. I spot a trophy buck, or an antelope, or an elk, whatever it may be. My heart is racing, but the blurry view, or I just can't quite identify exactly what I'm looking at, it has me second guessing. Well, that's where Vortex Optics comes in. With crystal clear glass and rugged durability, Vortex gives you the confidence to take the shot. Don't let poor optics ruin your story. Make every moment count. Upgrade to Vortex and turn your hunting tales into triumphs. Visit vortexoptics.com today. Quick break to talk about something that actually is part of my daily routine. Killshot coffee. If you're like me, mornings start early. Whether it's a hunt, a workout, getting after the day, children, who knows, Killshot is the coffee that gets you moving. It's bold, smooth, and doesn't taste burned or watered down like a lot of other big-name brands. Killshot is veteran-owned, unapologetically American, and built for people who live an active outdoor lifestyle. No fluff, just damn good coffee that hits when you need it most. If you want to support the show and upgrade your morning routine, check out Killshot Coffee. I've got the link waiting for you in the show notes. So many of the best hunting stories don't end at the shot. They start with the pack out. And that's the part that nobody sees. Heavy loads, long miles, bad angles, and it's usually when you're already smoked. That's why being ready for it matters. And GoRuck, well, they build packs designed for training under real weight. They're made for rucking, loading up and putting in miles, and preparing your body for the hardest part of the hunt before the season even starts. If you train for the pack out, you're not surprised by it. GoRuck helps you stay hunt ready long before you ever punch a tag. If you want to check out their packs and support the show, hit the link in the show notes, because the story's better when you make it back to camp.
I'm moving in, the semi-truck pulls in, and this is the beginning of crazy hunting stories.
Okay.
Of course, I've got the old tales from Dad and stuff at the cabin with black bears and wolves and all that, but
that actually reminds me, real quick, about your dad. He said never take a quartering towards shot. Did he give you a story for that, or did he just tell you not to do it and leave you at that?
Just told me not to do it and left it. He don't do it. It's not high for him. It was not high percentage. Don't do it.
He's got his standards. That's cool. That's fine. It's funny. All of my big game kills have been quartering too. It's just like, I'm worked so dang hard, I just have to take that shot. Like, if I got a shot, I got to take it. And they were both kill shots, so I'm not too concerned about it. But it did have me nervous, especially my moose. I stood there just waiting for her to just turn 5 more degrees. Just give me a little bit more.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Well, you think about, there's a lot of things in our industry, but you think about the way they were raised and the technology or lack thereof versus today. Yeah. I mean, I would argue we're probably all shooting better, more consistent than a lot of, I'm kind of throwing that out there. It's not a blanket statement, but when you look at how far these bows and arrows and sights and the accessibility to just practicing has come, I gotta imagine we might be shooting a little bit tighter groups.
Yeah, for sure. Back in the day, everyone had a whisker biscuit, right? And those things just, every shot became less and less accurate. Now we've got these drop away rests that are just like pinpoint. It's amazing. Yeah. So good point. Yep. Good point. So back then it probably made a lot more sense to be a little more hesitant. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that came on the heels of a lot of his screw-ups. So he was making sure we didn't do it. But he would never tell you about the screw-up, right? He just wanted to tell you not to do it. So, but yeah, so we're unloading the semi-truck, and I pull out my bow case. And at the time, it was the anodized green with the silver cam, the Hoyt Hypertech.
Okay.
It was like the first time Hoyt did that cool thing with the riser that wraps around the hand, and I pull that thing out, and it was funny because I've never met this guy. He walks out of his house and goes, "What you got in the case?" And I kind of looked at him funny, like, "You idiot, it's a bow case." Like, he knew what like I had. And it's a sense of humor is I'm like, "Hey, idiot, it's a bow." And he goes, "You bow hunt?" And I sarcastically said, "No, I just like to carry it around." Keep in mind, this is 12 years of me not hunting.
Yeah.
And he says, "We should get out and bow hunt. You can come with me." So for anybody, like, I haven't hunted in 12 years. I have no idea about the quality of deer in Missouri.
Yeah.
And I just walked into my new house, and I now have, like, unregulated permission in Missouri.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was walking into. So he's like, "Let's roll." So we shoot for the summer. You could tell he was feeling me out.
Yeah. And this is your neighbor? Like,
this is my neighbor. So
okay, like like direct house neighbor, or like
direct
couple
house
houses down
right
neighbor?
next to me. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, the first night we met, after this, like, we actually hooked up and hung out in his backyard. He had an entire, like, 7-foot dead Christmas tree, and he goes, "Hey, get a fire started." I'm a northerner, right? Bush lights and fire pits. I dumped the tree into the fire pit, and I almost burned the back of the house down. And his wife comes out, and she goes, "Who is this guy?" And I remember it vividly. He goes, "This is awesome." And it was that moment. Our wives got together, and they realized there was going to be a problem. It was like perfect. So, yep, my direct neighbor. It was awesome. It was perfect. It was meant to be. And so I go with him, and season comes around, and he goes, "Don't shoot the first thing you see." Now, for anybody that knows what northern Minnesota's like, you would go an entire year and maybe see 1 or 2 deer.
Yeah.
Where we were specifically. There are big deer, in my opinion, everywhere. But where we are, they are not abundant. And so I've got a guy telling me, "Don't shoot the first thing you see." This is no joke. The first day we're just sitting on a field edge just outside of town. And we had to see 55, 60 deer in 2 hours.
Wow.
And I'm shaking in my boots. Yeah. Like, I don't know, buck fever. I don't know what to do. This is in the year 2018. So I'm 46 now. I don't care if people know my age. I'm 38 years old, shaking in my boots like a brand new hunter. And when I tell you 50, 60 deer, they're not small. I bet you, 30, 35 doe, smaller bucks, and there had to be 4 or 5 135, 140, 145 class bucks.
Like, all of those deer would be the biggest deer I've ever shot.
Every single thing is the biggest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so I get out of the tree, and I don't know what to do. I said, what do I shoot? Now, my biggest learning curve in Missouri is different than the North Woods, the Minnesota-Wisconsin timber. Here you have a 20-yard pin, you're probably good.
Yeah.
Down there, you got a 20, 30, a 40, and you might want to have a 50. Because things can get crazy quick, right? And you might need to take a follow-up shot. So I learned really quick. I thought I was good out to 40. I wasn't. So this is 2018, trip number 2, trip number 3, trip number 4. We're not even into the rut yet. I've already missed 2 really big deer. Like, I'm kicking myself. And when I say big deer, 18-ish, 19, 20-inch spread, mainframe 10s.
Yeah.
And they're coming out of the field corner, and I'm going, I have to draw now. So I'm just letting arrows fly. And I'm not hitting anything. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so nervous to see where my arrow is going. I have forgotten everything. And keep in mind, 12 years off, I'm back in the game. So, so this is how it's going to go. So anyway, it was probably 3 or 4 weeks later. It's the rut. I shoot a 3-pointer, a spike.
Okay.
And he will never, ever let me forget it. I shoot a little buck. And he goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, he was right there, 10 yards, man. That's meat in the freezer. That's meat in the freezer.
Yeah.
There's 150 more of them. I shot the buck.
Yeah.
So the good news in Missouri, you get a second buck tag after gun season.
Okay.
So I shoot my buck. I lick my wounds. I still to this day it hasn't been like taken away from me, right?
Yeah.
So I just get crushed.
That's one of those things, man.
Yep.
Like I can think of a similar situation where my buddies, I'm like, they will never live that down, no matter what they do. They could kill the biggest of everything. My buddy is still the guy that shot at an armadillo with an AR-15 and missed 5 times. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah. So
it's funny.
It's funny. I've been training a few hunters locally here, and I've really said, I always use this statistic. Back in like 1900, there were like 300,000-ish deer. There's 30-something million today, right? And so I've got this sort of point of view. If you're new to the game, you got to get a couple under your belt, right?
Yeah.
Shoot what makes your heart pump. Don't ever feel bad about it, and we'll just level you up, right?
Yeah, and just go have some great meals. Like that's all.
Go
there's to it.
have
Get
great
some meat
meals,
in the freezer,
right?
Yeah.
That's it. We might give you some, what for it for a long time, but it's in good fun.
Yeah.
So we get to the rut, or post rut. Sorry, in what he calls it the second rut. We're last week. It's the week right after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And so I saw the biggest deer of my life, probably a 50, 60 class deer.
Wow.
And never got a shot, and I was hooked. So I saw this deer 30 miles north of where we had been hunting on another chunk we have, and I was hooked to that chunk. What I learned quick down in Missouri is you've got field edges, and then if you want to get into some stuff in the deep timber. So I had set this goal, like I'm going to shoot in my opinion, a trophy class whitetail out of this property. I could care less about your fields. I'm shooting a buck. I will not quit until I get one. And so I go on like this 6-year run, from 2020 till now of I've got 5 Pope and Young on the wall.
No way. You just found a spot.
So I've got 5 Pope and Young. And then we've got a booner here behind me. And then last year, not last season, forgive me, not 2025, but 2024, at about 11 yards, I shot a 162, and wasn't expecting it. And so I've been on like this 6-year run of deer in Kansas City. Now I want to back up a minute. So I was in Kansas City 2018, 2019, and the beginning of 2020. COVID hit, and I got relocated back up to Wisconsin.
Gotcha.
So I'm leaving my buddy. He's beside himself. I'm upset.
Yeah.
I'm rolling in to we decided we didn't want to live in the Twin Cities. We wanted to live outside of the circle. And we found a nice little spot here in Wisconsin. So I move up here, we bought a house, and my wife, this is where the story starts to get kind of cool, but my wife is out thrifting. So she runs into a guy down the road who's got wagon wheels and old milk, all the cool antique stuff.
Yeah.
He's sitting on like 150 acres, and I think 55, 60 of it's timber.
Okay.
The rest of it's leased ag, and it's south of another 140 acres of ag. So my wife could talk to anybody, but my wife says, hey, you need to go talk to this guy, see if he'll let you hunt. I have no idea about door knocking. I didn't know the pain people go through to do it. I've got all these great places 6.5 hours south. Now I've got to go find new property.
Yeah.
I'm still going to go south. I go there probably 5-6 times a year. Gotta. But now I need something in my backyard. So I go knock on this guy's door. I buy a couple of deer sheds from him and some other cool stuff. And I said, hey, would you mind if, I hunt? Cat just went across. Do you mind if I hunt? I'll shoot you a deer every year. It's all yours. I'll even clean it for you. And I'm just a bow hunter. And without even blinking, he goes, it's all yours.
Wow.
Now keep in mind,
that was easy.
That was easy. But I just had 2 years of this, like, drinking from a fire hose. I'm getting back in the game.
Yeah.
Most of these Pope and Youngs I haven't been killed yet, because that was kind of between 2020 and 2025 when I'm, traveling back and forth. So I walk into it, and I call my buddy in Kansas City, and I said, you got to come up here. I've got a chunk. I have no idea what's in there. But he told me nobody's hunted it for 10 years.
Wow. Okay. That's
so
also my next question is anyone else on it? But that's amazing.
Nobody's touched it.
And you said it butts up with all these fields, all these ag fields. Like, it sounded pretty sweet.
There's like little 20, 25 acre islands with topography in them and all this stuff happening, which, by the way, I have no clue how to read that. I'm still getting back into this. So he rolls up for opener, and we come around a corner. Now, keep in mind, in 2020, I don't know what a 170 looks like.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Everything to me that's probably, in that 120, 125 age, to me, that looks just huge. So we're rolling. He goes, I'm going to sit here on this knob. Let's just observe the beans. I said, okay, cool. I'm going to go around the corner of this pinch, and I'm going to see what we see. So we come around the corner, and I can just see the top of the head, but it's that behind.
That's insane.
And it's just heavy. But I don't know it's that, right?
Yeah.
But I can just see this. Rather than knock an arrow, I decide to run back 400 yards to him to tell him it's a big deer. So he goes, what are you doing here, man? Like, go back over there. And I said, okay, I'll run back over there. So I'm just a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
So I get back around, the deer's gone, right? Didn't see the deer.
Of course.
And he did, I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh, what do I do? What do I do? So this starts this process of me learning how to scout and where to put things. So that first season, we just hung a bunch of Helium Pros on like field edges.
Okay.
I didn't want to get crazy deep into anything.
Let me ask. Sorry.
How. Yeah, go ahead. Please. I'm talking too much.
No, you were not. You were doing a great job. But I don't know all that much about whitetail hunting. I've only been like once, really.
Yeah.
I've killed one whitetail. Very happy with it down in Texas. But I was walking a river. I couldn't do anything except walk. Like, I couldn't leave the river because it was private. But you said you put helium on these corners. Like, what is that? What's the point of that? I'm sure a lot of my listeners are like, shut up, Michael. I know exactly what that's for. But the other half are Western hunters, and they're like, what is he talking about?
Hawk heliums are just deer stands.
Oh, okay.
So it's a super portable light deer stand. They're more affordable than a lone wolf.
Okay. I was thinking you were throwing helium balloons all over the place, and I'm like, what is he doing that for? Okay, see, obviously naive. Okay.
Yep. So I put a couple of these Hawk Helium portable stands in just some spots. Top of edges, bottom of edges. I'm just trying to get lucky. So we never see another big deer for that long weekend, and Dave heads back down to Kansas City.
Did Dave believe you when you were like, biggest deer I've ever seen? Was he like, sure?
No.
Sure. You sure it wasn't another spike?
He'll lie to my face and tell you he did. No, there's no way he believed me. Because, there's no way. Because he knows I don't know what I'm looking at. So, and I'd say that's a great question you asked, because that's going to matter here in a minute. So,
okay.
It's about 2 weeks later. We're getting to the end of October. Some of the beans have been cut, but there's like a strip in the middle of the field where there's still active beans. And it's, for a lot of people, tell you it's early to rattle, but I throw out a rattle in a grunt sequence. And this is no joke. But a deer comes out, and he had to be 26. I mean, he's just wide.
Yeah.
And he comes up, gets to about 55 yards. He's looking for where the fight is happening. He can't see it, so he's going to investigate. And he runs underneath me, and his left main beam hits the tree as he's going by.
No
and
way.
When I look down, and there's only one branch in my way, and I have no shot. So I'm looking, and I'm like, oh my God. And he runs underneath me, and he's just, I can't even get it on the screen. He's big.
Yeah.
He ends up shooting behind me like 5 yards. There's no shot. It's just thick brush. And he leaves. And of course, the first thing I do is I call my buddy, and I said, you're never going to believe what I just saw. Yeah. And he goes, well, what is it? I said, it's not the one when you were here. It's another one. These are two different deer. So he's laughing. Again, he's probably kind of dismissing it, going, whatever. Yeah. Right? Fast forward a few more weeks. My father-in-law comes down. Not my father-in-law, my stepdad, my mom's husband. He comes down, he's in his 60s, and I said, you're going to sit right where I sat. Because, he's looking he wants to shoot a deer. He's getting older.
Yeah.
I said, I'm putting you in my best spot. I'm going to go north, and I'm just going to see what happens. So I'm about 400 yards up the fence line from my stepdad.
Okay.
He's just sitting there with a crossbow. So hands don't work. He's arthritis. He was a nurse and he retired as a nurse. So I do another rattle sequence. I haven't been in this place for 3 weeks. Out of one of those little Saturn islands of timber, a big buck pokes his head out under the pines, and he's standing there. I give him one more rattle, and he's on a beeline to me.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, I'm thinking it's one of those first two big deer. He ends up skirting just south of me, let's call it 35, 40 yards, and now I'm tucked into the fence edge, so I can't see him. So I'm sitting there going, man, where did he go? I have no idea where he went. He comes down and ends up popping his head and his rack out at about 12 yards. It is a third giant 16-point buck.
Okay.
And when when he turns and he walks straight away, I had a doe decoy north of me. He didn't like her. So he stayed clear, and he walks away, and now he's walking right to my stepdad. And I'm like, goodness, this is it. I put my bow down, I've got the binos up, and I'm watching this deer walk. He's 30 yards off the timber edge, walking straight down a bean row right to my stepdad. And I am tickled. I'm like, that guy's going to shoot the biggest buck of his life on his first trip out in 20 years. That deer gets in front of him, 400 yards south of me, stops and looks, and I'm like, here it comes. All of a sudden, you see that deer dive down into the dirt and run.
No.
Now it's about 45 minutes till dark. I'm thinking he shot him.
Yeah.
All right, we're just going to wait it out. So I get down out of the stand 45 minutes later. And I walk up to the stand, and I look at my stepdad, and I said, "Where'd you hit him?" And he can't hear very well, and he goes, "What?" And I said, "Where did you hit him?" And he goes, "I didn't. I dropped crank on my crossbow, and it hit the stand and the steps all the way down, and I scared him."
No. No.
So I'm trying not to like be devastated, but I'm devastated. This is now 3 different big deer, and I know they're big. We don't have a single one of them to show for anything, and I'm starting to go, this is out of control. Yeah. So that was the last time I touched this Wisconsin property that year, and then I went down to Missouri, and I ended up shooting like a 125, 130. Beautiful 8-pointer. Quartering 2, you'll appreciate quartering 2 at 40 yards and took its jugular out. So I shoot that buck. I'm happy, right? Just tickled, and so everything's fine, and I sit a little bit more for the year. I ended up with a couple deer that year. So that ends that year.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Whether you bond over streaming binge-worthy videos, watching sports recaps, video gaming, or by unplugging altogether, the 2026 Lincoln Nautilus Hybrid helps keep you connected throughout your journey. Learn more at Lincoln.com. Available connectivity features and functionality vary by model. Package pricing, trials, and term lengths vary by model. Video streaming and games are only available while parked.
Hey, hunters. Have you ever had one of those stories, the ones that you didn't want to tell? The ones that end in failure? Yeah, I've been there. Actually, you know what? The culprit for me usually is bad optics, or worse, lack of using my optics at all. Picture this. I spot a trophy buck, or an antelope, or an elk, whatever it may be. My heart is racing, but the blurry view, or I just can't quite identify exactly what I'm looking at, it has me second guessing. Well, that's where Vortex Optics comes in. With crystal clear glass and rugged durability, Vortex gives you the confidence to take the shot. Don't let poor optics ruin your story. Make every moment count. Upgrade to Vortex and turn your hunting tales into triumphs. Visit vortexoptics.com today.
So now I know what's in this property up here, and I'm just, okay, we got to get cameras up. Yeah. Second season, nope. We don't get a single big deer on camera. All I keep hearing from the neighbors of this property is there's big deer everywhere. Yeah. Again, I don't know where to put cameras. It's field edges. Don't see a single deer. Got does and stuff, but no big bucks. So second year comes, and Dave, my buddy from Kansas City, comes up, and it is October. I forget the date, maybe the 19th. Wisconsin, it's cold. Yeah. We got snow early that year, and I want to say it was like 12 or 13 degrees was the high. With the wind chill, we were pushing 0. Okay. And he's sitting where I had my stepdad the year before. And all of a sudden, in the south of the field, I had been telling him about one of these deer. The south of the field, we see one of them. I mean, this is no joke. It's got to be 500-600 yards from us. I think we put it on base maps. It was about 550 yards away. Before I can finish my text, he texts me and goes, "Your 200-inch buck is just south of us." Yeah. Gosh. Now, he's a guy who can look at a deer, and he's usually within a few inches of being correct. Like, he's just been doing it. Yeah. And I said, "Do you think he's 200? He says he's all of 200. There is not, it's a mainframe 12. He's as wide as you can imagine. And so this is where he goes, "I didn't believe you."
Yeah, right.
I'm like, "I'm telling you, man." And there's 2 other ones in here. I'm telling you, that deer that's a different animal. I've never seen that before. And I said, what did he do? And he goes, he hit a doe and went south. So within a few days, somebody had made a Facebook post. And maybe we can side note on it or go off on a tangent here. But this guy said, has anybody seen a specific buck? He asked it on Facebook. I'm ignorant and naive to it. And I'm like,
uh-oh.
Where were you? I said, where were you? Well, then he got defensive. And I'm like, listen, man, there's a giant buck off of X Highway headed south 3 days ago. I'm just spilling my beans. Like I'm giving everybody I don't know any better. I just like hunting. You know, I'm just innocent and I like hunting.
You're just getting excited.
I'm excited, man. Like, this is fun. And if you and me don't shoot him, who's going to shoot him, right? So I kind of just get after it. Come to find out, somebody ended up shooting like a 204 later that year, just south. So it was a gross 204. It was big. It was really big.
Man, that's massive. That's for
massive.
A whitetail, massive.
Insanity. And keep in mind, I'm up here. Nobody's touched it for 10 years. It can happen. So that deer, we think it's that deer gets shot. We ended up hunting there for that whole season. Still didn't shoot any, giants out of it. Took some good bucks, but nothing crazy. Had a lot of fun. We're still figuring it out. Went back to Missouri. Shot another poper. So I dropped my daughter off down there on Thanksgiving Day. I get to the stand Thanksgiving Day, and in 15 minutes, I shoot a big 7. It's a Pope and Young 7-pointer.
Okay.
Which is tough.
Yeah.
And so I shoot this 7. And then now it's after Thanksgiving, so you get $2 because I didn't shoot one before. So I shoot the 7. The 7 is laying there, and I've got another one bigger that walks in and locks up on my decoy. The funniest part of the story is I text my buddy, and I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm eating Thanksgiving dinner, and I can't let my wife see that you're texting me. I'm like, I got to buck down. I need you to get over here. So I blow up their Thanksgiving, and I still think she hates me ever since that day. But I just completely trashed their Thanksgiving. We're hunting. Yeah. We're looking for a
deer. Is this Dave or a different friend?
This is Dave. It's all everything in Missouri is me and Dave.
Okay.
So I blow up Thanksgiving. His wife's pissed, and I got lucky, and I still got to sleep on the couch that night down there. So we finished that season. Now remember, I'm still after a buck on that other property. Remember, 30 miles north?
Yeah.
So the next year, now I've got a couple under my belt, and I just dedicated my season to that one property. And I remember it so vividly, man. It's like 7:30 in the morning. The sun is already up, and we're late out of bed, and I'm not happy. And I'm like, hey, bud, we got to go. We're not going to see anything. It's too late. So we dump all the way down into this river bottom. I get to a spot, and it's now 8:30, 8:45, and I don't have time. There's deer everywhere, and I walk a creek bottom the whole way. And there's deer, and I said, I text him, I can't get in a tree. There's too many eyes on me. Now, I dropped him off on the way, and I said, just stop complaining, man. Just sit here and tell me if you see something. So he ends up getting up there, and all of a sudden he texts me and he goes, big buck, grunted at him. He's on his way. I'm behind a sycamore tree on the ground, and I've got 3 does at 15 yards, so I can't move.
Yeah.
Well, as my buddy grunts to him, and that buck comes back to him, it intercepts the doe scent. This is on December 2nd. It picks up that doe scent, takes a hard left, and now is on a beeline to me, 300 yards to the east.
My goodness. Okay.
He texts me back, and he goes, I had him at 40, no shot. He's on his way. I have no idea where this deer is because I can't move.
Yeah.
So I'm behind a sycamore tree, just leaned up into it going, I don't know what's happening. And I've got my release on and my bow in my hand.
Arrow nocked, ready to go.
I'm ready to rock. Like, I know something's coming, but I don't know. I turn, and as I turn, I've got a mainframe 10 with double kickers off both G2s.
My goodness.
I shot him at 9 yards on the ground. No
way.
Yep. He's actually
That's
right
amazing.
up here.
Were you shaking like crazy, or are you past that at this point?
Well, now here's the cool thing. Like, I had been like ordained, like baptism by fire, right?
Yeah.
3.5, 4 years of just getting my butt kicked. There's still some really good deer to show for it. And I end up shooting this at 9 yards. And I'm just going, I finally did it. I finally shot a mature buck on this property. I knew they were there. And I got video. It ends up falling 25 yards from me. I watched the whole thing happen. 9 yards on the ground. So as I turn around the sycamore tree and I draw, you can imagine a guy like me, that deer's at 27 feet away.
Yeah.
And he's just looking at those does. And sometimes you just, you draw and the pin's just where it needs to be. You're not even thinking and you just let it rip.
Yep.
And that was it. It was like, I wasn't panicky. I finally graduated to a point where I wasn't going to just lose my mind at the sight of a big deer. And so that to me was like the graduation of, okay, you're starting to figure some stuff out, right?
Yeah.
And so, simultaneously I'm chasing this thing up here in Wisconsin and different things kind of happen there. And I go back to Missouri in 2024 for that season. I shoot a 162. Not that inches matter, but I'm really proud of like their mature deer. And I'm finally,
it's also a frame of reference for the people listening, right? Like, otherwise a deer's a deer unless you give it something specific about it. Yeah.
In 2025, I did not shoot a buck in 2025, and I posted some videos of me. I'm passing up deer that 5 years ago I would have begged to shoot.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm really proud of that, right? Like, I'm looking for something more mature. I feel like I've graduated as a hunter to be even more patient. I'm better at identifying what they are. And so when we were talking earlier, I've kind of been on like the 6-7 year tear.
Yeah.
of just working my tail off, but just getting after it. And so, man, now in the middle of this, there's Dave's from Missouri. They're not used to black bears. And so we've got a funny story of him going up into this field up here in Wisconsin and being chased out by a black bear. I'm 200 yards. Yeah. So one of the mornings, it's got to be 4:30 in the morning, moon's up, and it's corn.
Yeah.
And he, to walk from where we park the truck to where the stand is about 1,600 yards through corn.
Okay.
It's like 3/4 of a mile-ish in corn.
Yeah. Basically what your point alluding to is no visibility. Like you're just walking,
zero.
Things show up 3 feet in front of you.
Exactly. I am on a fence line on the south edge of the property, and I get up onto this knob where I can just kind of see over the corn. And all I can hear is like this fluttering of corn, and I turn around and look to the west, and it's just a headlamp going like this. There's a guy running through the corn with his headlamp. And I could see corn in the moonlight the other direction moving, so I know whatever he ran into is going the other way.
But he doesn't know that.
He has no clue. So I call him. I'm like, what's going on? He goes, bear. He, corn, sometimes you get into those little openings where it didn't plant. he ripped into an opening, and there was a black bear in there. And she turned and looked at him, and then he just bailed out of it. And I've got video another time in the mid-noon coming down through the bean rows. It was in beans, and I've got a black bear. She followed me the whole way out.
No, she followed you. That's interesting.
Followed me. Wouldn't leave me alone. And what happened is the way the wind was quartering off of me, couldn't figure out what I was. Okay. So I'm convinced it was just curiosity. And It never got closer than like 35, 40 yards. And then I finally turned and put my bow up and kind of made an abrupt move at it. And it was gone. It didn't run, but it was like, I'm out of here. I don't like you.
How big are the black bears you got there in Wisconsin? Because I know they range, right?
Yeah, 2-3 years ago, a 650-pounder was taken.
Okay.
Just up
What's
the
the
road.
average?
275 to 350. I mean,
that's a big black bear.
Yeah, most of what you see up here, you're going to see high 2s into 3s and the low 4s. I feel like that's the band.
Okay.
And then every year, somebody within 50 miles of here just shoots a slob.
Yeah. Interesting.
This is a place where you can drive the back roads and you'll actually watch them. You'll watch them at the end of August. You can just watch black bears running across fields.
Okay.
You'll stumble in.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
Do you know where has the highest per capita of bears? It's a little bit of trivia that I know. I'm just going to throw it at you.
North Carolina.
No, they've got the biggest bears. They've got the world record. The United States record, I should say, not the world record. But
what is it?
Canada has the world record.
Oh, okay. Okay, Canada. I didn't know Canada was on the map. I've been planning.
No. But we're talking about to my trivia question. The answer is actually New Jersey. New Jersey has the most bears per square mile.
I'm not surprised. I feel like I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, Colorado. We got I feel like our bears are scrawny. I've only run into a few, and they all. I can't imagine they were over 200 pounds. So, but I've also seen a bunch in Washington that were massive, but they very well could have been grizzlies. I have no idea. I was just like, holy shit! I'm not going anywhere near those bears. But cool, man. Jason, great stories, brother. I really appreciate all of these. This has been great. Do you have any more you want to share?
I think some of the best stories that we have are with failure.
Right.
I got there's a time where my buddy, he's 150 yards north of me, watches me come to full draw and completely whiff, on a 145-inch, 150-inch buck, and it's the banter back and forth of what are you doing? Why would you do that? We've got videos of us hanging sticks or prepping spots and deer running underneath us on camera. It's to me that some of the best stories have nothing to do with the harvest.
Yeah,
man, it's like all the stuff we do in the middle, like from now until August, is like the fun stuff. And then I feel like, for me at least, the season is where you kind of, if you're lucky, you reap the rewards of the work you put in. This last year, 2025, I'll give you this last story for 2025, but
perfect.
This was my year. I was feeling so good. I shot 3 does. I did not shoot a buck this year. And we had a really wide, and I'll tell you the significance. Dave shot a mainframe. He'd be scored as a mainframe 8, and when we originally green scored that 8, it was in the high 80s. That's a giant 8 down in Missouri. Yeah, and I want to say, don't quote me, but I think the inside spread when it was green was just a hair over 24.5 inches.
Dang.
Yeah,
good
and
deer.
we've got it's buck of a lifetime for anybody. But we finally had another buck down there that competed with that one for width. Beautiful buck. And we kind of knew where he was living a little bit. But it was our first chance being able to move a little bit further to the west on some permission we got. And I had that buck this year at 32 yards. And the only way for me to get to my tree that I wanted to set up in with I was in a saddle, that buck intersected and locked up on my scent. So I have him at 32 yards. He knows something's not right. Obviously, a smart animal. I let one fly and missed completely. As I shot, he turned, and my arrow hit a little branch about 20 yards out, and you could see my arrow go like this. So I whiff on the big, what would have been the biggest buck of my life, and a few days later, we're north 30 miles, and I'm in the
biggest Missouri buck or buck in general?
It would have competed against that one.
Yeah.
Behind me. It would have been.
Okay.
And so I whiff on it, but I'm not even mad about it. I'm like, I knew it was tough. He was locked up on scent. I wasn't beating myself up.
Yeah.
So then 3 days later, we're north, and I'm walking back to the camper. We bring a little camper there because it's further from where we sleep. And I'm walking out, and I get a really nice wide 10-pointer. They were bedded on a little flat, and they were dogging a doe. He comes down and hits the river bottom, looks at me, and crawls up the other side. But then as he gets up the edge, he looks behind him, and he turns over his shoulder, and I'm like, there's another buck. So I get to full draw that buck, tall. I want to say 12, 13-inch G2s, just a really tall, nice-looking 8. That buck hits the river bottom and starts to come up the other side. And when I release, I exploded my brand new bow.
No! Oh my God! What happened?
The knock exploded. So I'm a 33-inch draw, 78 pounds. And
ooh, yeah, I forgot you're an NBA guy. Like, you're obviously a big guy. So yeah, huge draw. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4", but I'm not 33 inch. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm a 6'10" wingspan. And
okay.
And I'm only 6'3".
Okay.
And so the bow explodes, bends out both my cams, and we found the arrow. My knock exploded.
That's
so
crazy.
When I released, the back end of that knock went like this, and derailed my brand new bow. So
that's
that
crazy.
was my
Are
buck
you still
story
shooting Hoyts? I know you.
No.
All your other bows are Hoyts.
I shoot a Matthews XD. I just switched to a Matthews. I was a Hoyt guy forever. I love Hoyt.
Yeah.
I love them all. Listen, they all shoot great.
They do.
I switched to Matthews for one reason, and that was we're planning on doing an Alaska caribou trip up in Prudhoe Bay.
Okay.
And so I wanted to get reps with this Matthews XD. And the reason is with the limb technology and some of the things that this year Hoyt went and changed, they're easier to tune in the field.
Okay.
That's it. If something happens, it's a mod. It's not an entire limb system, right? So I'm like, you know what? And plus, I'm a Wisconsin guy, so I guess I'll support the Wisconsin brand. But,
there you go.
This is the first Matthews I've shot that replicates the draw cycle of a Hoyt that I fell in love with. I'm so used to the valley and the back wall of a Hoyt. And this XD is the first one that's been able to do that for me. So it's a great shooting bow.
Yeah. I mean, they're all great, man. I bought a bow probably 3 years ago, and I went and shot everything I could. Now, the problem I have is that I'm left eye dominant, so I shoot lefty, but they only have right-handed bows when the new ones come in. They don't have any lefties.
Yeah.
So I've got to shoot them offhand. But that being said, I liked all of them. I won't say there's one that I was like, nope, not that one. Like, I just knew immediately. And then the other ones, I was like, these are all amazing. And it came down to, like, the handle. Like, I was like, how's the grip feel? Like, because everything else was equal. They're all just so good. Man, yeah. I want a new bow just because it's fun to get new bows. But
it is.
Yeah.
But if I could say anything at, the point of sharing the Wisconsin permission property is, man, you can have the biggest deer that you've ever seen right in front of you living there.
Yeah.
That's not a guarantee you're getting one of them. So,
yeah, for sure.
For 6 years, for your audience, I've tucked my tail and ran to Missouri where I'm familiar. And I'm still chasing, just a really great mature buck in Wisconsin. Like I'm still after it up here and learning. I'm always learning and having to figure out, man, how does it's different up here than it is down there, which I'm sure it's the same at, where you are.
Yeah.
So
yeah, dude, it's different everywhere you go. And that's what's fun about this is I've hunted in a few different states. I'm based out of Colorado. So like I've elk hunted and done all that stuff here, but like even species to species here. But then I've also hunted Washington, and that's very different than Colorado. I've also gone to Hawaii and Texas, and everywhere you go, it's an entirely different game of chess, right? And it's just so much fun.
The best part for me though is like I was reborn into the space as a 38-year-old.
Yeah.
So for anybody who thinks they're behind the 8 ball, like just dig in.
Love it.
Dude,
I love
it.
it.
Go get after it, man. Like it's never too late.
Yeah. I'm not too far off from you. I wasn't reborn. I was like born. Like I didn't hunt as a youth. I didn't hunt until I was like about, I want to say 30 is when I picked it up. And so now I've been doing it for 11 years. And it's my personality, obviously enough at this point. So, you're never too late to just jump into it, man, and just have as much fun as you can. Don't get upset when you miss the big one, because you're going to miss plenty of animals. Just try not to wound them. That's like the best we can do is try not to wound them.
Listen, if anybody wants to talk about misses, they can call me.
Yeah.
I've missed so many of them. Like, it's been,
that's too funny.
It's crazy. I told Dave, if I was a gun hunter down there, I don't know if I'd have wall space, but
yeah.
Well, then again, I might have had buck fever even worse because it was within reach. But it's just enjoy it. I know I mentioned inches and stuff don't do that. Just shoot what makes your heart pump, man, and have fun.
For sure.
And surround yourself with good people and dudes that enjoy it.
People that will make fun of you when you make mistakes. I think that's really important. I have a couple questions for you, Jason. I have one question. Did you mount that 3-point, the first Missouri buck? Did you Euro him or anything? Oh.
We did. I did. Hold on. It's the skull cap is in the garage.
Okay. All right, that's good enough.
I do have the skull. Yep. Right. The skull cap's in the garage, and it hangs right above my squat rack. It sits right there in the middle.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, that's the last question I had, man. Jason, this was a ton of fun. I think the only thing that would have made this better is if we had time, and I know that you jumped on this podcast in like under an hour, so thank you for doing that. If we had time to get Dave on here to call bullshit on all of the stuff that you were telling us, that's the only way this could have been better, is if you guys were here just bashing your foreheads together, saying, no, this is how it happened. Wait a minute. Because I think that's important for hunting stories.
I know you've got a list of people that want to get on, but he's in Omaha at his daughter's volleyball tournament right now, and if you and I will connect. If you ever want to get him on and watch us go back and forth, it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have him on in the future for sure. My list is, I've got plenty of people that are interested, but it's oddly hard to get people to actual schedule. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
But man, Jason, is there anything you want to share with the people before we wrap this thing up? Any links, any of that stuff, or you just want to walk off into the sunset and say, go get out there and hunt?
We just started a YouTube page. We're terrible at filming, so we've got like 7 videos up there.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. And then so I'll probably walk off into the sunset, and then hopefully now I think I've got 7 new videos. I'm learning how to edit and some things that we're gonna put up there. For anybody in my area, I do have one thing to share, and I'll send you this link. I have in the last 2 years gotten really into endurance archery. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, I'm on the board of directors for a local archery club here that's been around for a lot of years called Chillicoot.
Okay.
And Chillicoot is located in Somerset, Wisconsin. And I learned this for anybody who's in southern Wisconsin or can get there. Brian Austin is his name, and he does a thing called beast mode. And last year I did it for the first time. Imagine on a ski hill an 8-hour endurance race with 3 3D targets per lap. And every time you miss, you have a penalty. So for the guy
like
that wants to get, it's what it is. For a guy who wants to get into that sort of stuff, or get themselves in shape for a Western hunt, or keep themselves sharp, these things are incredible. But that's Beast Mode Archery down south. That guy is incredible, a great human being. Chillicoot is doing their first annual endurance archery challenge up here on June 6th. So I'll send you a link for that. If
Please
anybody's in Minnesota or Wisconsin looking to get their butt kicked for an entire day, we'd love to have you. It's $150, and we got awards.
Yeah,
and we'll even hold the bucket if you're puking. So
that's
it's a lot
awesome.
of fun.
What's the distance? You said 8 hours.
It's 8 hours. We'll finalize our lap map in probably May, but each lap will be between 1.5 and 2.5 miles. We'll see what we want to do with the ski hill. And you're looking between 500 and 1,000 vertical feet of elevation per lap.
My goodness. And how many laps do you think people, from the other ones you've done, how many laps are like the average guy getting? Or how many did you get in the one you did?
Terrible. I did 3. And
better than me. I didn't even do it.
My feet felt like they were gonna fall off. The mistake I made is I switched from shoes to boots. We're not meant to be in boots, and so my feet got wet, and I just completely was out.
Yeah.
The winner in my division, I think, did 7, 8, or 9 laps.
Woo.
Like a lap per hour. That was a 2.5 mile lap. And
that's
I'm talking,
pretty good. Yeah.
You miss a shot, it's like 150-pound sled drag pull for 300 yards, or it's a 150-pound farmer carry, or it's a hill climb, and then you keep going. So you can imagine penalties don't help you at all.
No. How long are the shots?
We won't go further than 80.
Okay.
So we'll probably start 35, 40, and then each lap the shot will change. We've got medics on site. You've got a tent if you want to.
Okay.
If you want to stop, we're gonna have a chiropractor there.
There you go.
But it's just, I'll send a link if anybody wants to even just look at it. I don't know how many people will be up in this area, but just fun stuff like that to keep people going in the off season.
Perfect, man. Yeah. Send me the link, and I'll put it in the show notes. Also, send me your YouTube page. I want to check it out, and I'll also put that in the show notes. And it doesn't matter if you're still learning to edit. We're all learning to edit. We're all aspiring to put out that content. So, Jason, man, thank you so much. It was a pleasure, especially on the short notice, and the stories were great. I'm constantly told I need more Eastern whitetail stories, and man, this is exactly what I was looking for. So, thank you.
Appreciate you, bud.
Yeah, dude, it was my pleasure. Thank you again.
Yeah,
and stay in touch, and let's get Dave on.
Sounds good. I'll let him know right away.
All right, perfect. Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's it. Another couple stories in the books. One big one, really, when you think about it. Jason, thank you so much for coming on such short notice. I'm excited to meet your friend Dave, hear what you said, what is or isn't true, and, of course, hear some of his crazy stories hunting out of Missouri. So for you listeners, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you want to support the podcast, I have some links. It's like in a link tree. You can find it on my Instagram. You can find it in the show notes. Click on that stuff. If anything's interesting, great. If not, no big deal. But clicking on it and exploring some of the people that are supporting me, that's what helps. Beyond that, guys, if you have a story you want to share, let me know. If you got an old timer and you want me or yourself to capture their stories, let me know. But most importantly, guys, get out there and make some stories of your own. Quick break to talk about something that actually is part of my daily routine, Killshot Coffee. If you're like me, mornings start early, whether it's a hunt, a workout, getting after the day, children, who knows. Killshot is the coffee that gets you moving. It's bold, smooth, and doesn't taste burned or watered down like a lot of other big-name brands. Killshot is veteran-owned, unapologetically American, and built for people who live an active outdoor lifestyle. No fluff, just damn good coffee that hits when you need it most. If you want to support the show and upgrade your morning routine, check out Killshot Coffee. I've got the link waiting for you in the show notes.